Reddit fresh.
Would I be the idiot I made my 10-year-old sister use her birthday money to pay me back? I, female 24, recently moved back in with my parents so I could finish trade school. My little sister, 10, and I share a Jack and Jill bathroom. I had been noticing slime and spilled wax all over the countertops and light switch in my side of the bathroom and had talked to my parents about keeping my little sister out of my side of the bathroom. Well, 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to go on a date but couldn't find any of my makeup. I asked my little sister if she had taken it out of my bathroom and her response was, "I didn't even know you wore makeup." She's a good kid, so I believed her and figured I must have lost my makeup in the move, which pissed me off because I buy expensive stuff since I don't use it too often. I ended up going to the store that day and just replacing the concealed/slash foundation, $100, since I couldn't afford to replace my whole set. Well, this morning I woke up to find my old concealed/slash foundation sitting right on top of the new ones I just bought. I asked my mom if she had found it somewhere and she said she never touched it. It was pretty obvious that it had leaked or something because there was makeup all on the outside of the bottle and it was way emptier than when I last had it. My mom immediately thinks that my little sister took it and goes into her room to snoop around. The next thing I know, my mom starts tossing the room and I'm trying to get her to stop when she finally dumps out a drawer with not only my makeup, but a bunch of my mom's makeup that had gone missing. My sister had taken 2 makeup palettes of mine, one I hadn't even opened yet, brushes, lipstick, eyeliner, basically everything. On top of that, my mom found open containers of slime and paint that had seeped into the carpet and other poop she had stolen from around the house. All of the makeup she took from my mom and I were destroyed. The palettes were mixed together and cracked, brushes and paint in them, lipstick mashed, and everything was covered in slime. When me and my parents confronted her, she denied everything, even said that she didn't use any of the makeup when it was an obvious lie. My parents have grounded her for months, no phone, no electronics, and have offered to pay me back, but I don't want them to pay me back. I want her to pay me back. She stole and destroyed nearly $200 in makeup and lied to my face about it. The worst part is I've only been living here for 3 weeks. Her 11th birthday is coming up in 2 months, and I'm wondering if I would be an idiot if I made her use her birthday money to pay me back. I feel like taking her birthday money is cruel, especially because it's the only kind of spending money she gets all year, and my parents have suggested chores, but what chores is she gonna do for me to pay me back? I do more chores than her and I pay rent. Edit. My parents are not against her paying me back with her birthday money. They actually suggested it first. They're leaving it up to me to decide how I want to be paid back. My grandparents give her a $200 check every birthday on top of toys/art stuff for extra spending money during the year. TLDR, 10-year-old sister stole and destroyed $200 worth of makeup from me. Would I be the idiot if I made her pay me back with her birthday money? Not the idiot. One time when I was like 9, I messed around and broke some of my older brother's models. They were expensive. I was grounded and had to give up all my allowance until it was enough to buy him replacements. I learned to not mess with other people's stuff. Not the idiot, but you have to run it by your parents first. She stole, destroyed the goods, and then lied several times. Okay, she's 10, so not that much of a big deal, but she still needs to be held accountable. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for asking my brother to pay $30,000 for my engagement ring? I used to wear my engagement ring all the time, but lately I keep it in my walk-in closet and mainly wear it for special occasions. While I was cleaning up the dinner table, my nephews went to go play while the adults were still in the outdoor patio/outdoor kitchen area. My brother was not supervising his kids. During this time, my nephews went into the master bedroom without anyone knowing and started playing with everything, including my engagement ring. When we came to look for them, they panicked because they knew they weren't supposed to be upstairs, ran into the master bathroom and flushed my ring. We called a plumber in case it was somehow in the U-trap of the toilet and not actually gone. But nope. Unfortunately, it was gone for good. We still had the original receipt, so I called my brother. I emailed him a scanned copy as proof of the cost and asked him to reimburse me for the ring my nephew flushed. Immediately, he started calling me an idiot because we were family and he was just a child. He has refused to repay the cost of my ring. I told him I will be taking him to court for this, and now my entire family is blowing up my phone saying family shouldn't sue each other and just let it go. Edit: no, the ring was not insured. I found out the day after my nephew flushed it. My husband says he forgot and in the end never actually insured it. Edit 2. My brother says he does not have the money to repay even $100 per month and has refused any kind of repayment plan. He said I live in a nice enough house and if I want a replacement, I should just sell my car. Edit 3. My brother, to this day, has not truly apologized. It was a Canadian sorry. Sorry, not sorry. He said kids will do what is normal for kids, and they shouldn't be held responsible for a ring. They were supposed to supervise their kids outdoors with the rest of the family while I was busy cleaning up. Edit 4. I don't believe for a second my brother and his wife cannot pay for the cost of my engagement ring. They don't make anything near my husband, but they have a combined income of around $250,000. They don't pay rent or anything because my parents gifted them their old house valued at $3.5 million in Toronto on CA back when I bought my parents a new home years ago. There is no mortgage on the home my brother lives in. The only things my brother and his wife would have to pay for are the cost of raising their children, normal bills, and food. I feel so distraught because my ring holds great sentimental value. I've already been speaking with my husband's family lawyer, but at this point, I'm ready to hire a PI to find out if they really don't have the money. Not the idiot. We are family, and it was an accident doesn't absolve his responsibility for the damage he caused you. It's unfortunate that you have to sue him, but he's the one putting you in this position. He should have offered to pay you back in any way he could, not the idiot. He's responsible for his kids essentially stealing and destroying someone's property. Also, I'm curious why in the world an 8-year-old thought it was okay to flush the ring and not just put it somewhere. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for canceling on family vacation after my newly widowed mom decides to bring her new boyfriend? My dad lost his 1.5-year battle with cancer 1 year ago, April 2022, at only 62 years old. He and my mom were married for 31 years. The few months before my dad got sick, he and my mom were not on great terms and were contemplating divorce. However, through my dad's diagnosis and extreme ups and downs of treatment, they came together, squashed some of their issues, and my mom was there to care for my dad every step of the way. I miss him every day. Me and my mom had always been pretty close, but since my dad died, I feel like I'm seeing and talking to her less and less these days, and it makes me sad. In August of 2022, 4 months after my dad passed, my mom started seeing someone. She'd call him her friend, slip in mentions of him in conversation, but I personally wanted nothing to do with him, still don't. I thought it was too soon and told her so. Everyone grieves differently and dating after losing a spouse is hard, but conversations I've attempted with this guy and the chemistry between them has been super awkward IMO. I feel like she's disregarding any feelings or pushback that me, my sister, and extended family have about this relationship, large extended family, all very close-knit. She has now started bringing him to events and parties, and there is an awkward vibe when he's around. Nobody wants to say it out loud. This past week, he showed up unexpectedly at our family Easter party at my parents' house. My mom knew he was coming and did not mention it to anyone. Following tradition, we stood in prayer before we ate dinner, and my uncle prayed out loud for those who we have lost, and I felt so awkward that my mom's boyfriend was there, holding hands with my family as we talked about my dad and my dad's house, almost only a year to the day that he died. We're now booking flights for a large family vacation in June. Condo has already been booked for months, and my mom casually mentioned at Easter that she's bringing her boyfriend. I didn't hear this at the time and found out later from her cousin. I immediately called and told her my feelings about him going. I don't want him to, and she completely changed the subject and did not acknowledge what I told her at all. Not to mention, we had decided to leave a day early to save money on flights, but now that her boyfriend is going, it will actually cost me more because we will no longer be splitting the costs that we originally planned since they will be doing things separately. Money is not the problem though. It's now a principle to me. Of the 20 family members that will be on this trip, not one person really wants him to be there, except her. He will be staying in the same condo, and we are going to have to tiptoe around this awkward situation for an entire week while we should be relaxing and enjoying family time together. Am I the idiot for wanting to cancel on the family vacation and/or stick to my guns about not wanting her boyfriend to go even though she already booked his flight? You're the idiot. Your parents' marriage is over. If they were together for 31 years and talking divorce, dude, it's been over for a while. She sucked it up because he was dying. It's an awkward vibe because instead of being mature and being happy your mom found someone who makes her happy, you guys are refusing to be open. You're the idiot. Grow up. Your mother and father were already contemplating divorce. She stayed with him through his illness anyway. She didn't move on too quickly or do anything wrong. I'm sorry for your loss, but seriously, your mother deserves to be happy. Now, for the next story. Would I be the idiot if I don't? Tell my boyfriend his mom isn't his bio mom? I've been thinking about this for weeks 24/7 and don't know what to do. I have no one to talk to about this in real life. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years. We met at school. Since our school is in my state, he's met my family multiple times and comes home with me a lot, but since he's from out of state, I haven't had the chance to meet his parents until recently. He invited me to go back with him for spring break to his family's summer home where they'd be, and I said yes. He's an only child, so it was just going to be me, him, and his parents, so I was kind of nervous to meet them. The trip was great. His parents were really nice. On one of the last nights, my boyfriend went out with his dad for the night, so it was just me and his mom in the house. She invited me to share a bottle of wine with her, and I'm not much of a drinker, but I didn't want to make things awkward. She drank most of the bottle and got very drunk, and we were actually having an interesting conversation. She was telling me about her early life modeling and being a news broadcaster, and as the conversation flowed, she kept drinking more and more. It hit midnight, and she was holding her phone screen and all of a sudden started crying. I asked her what's wrong, and she said that today is the anniversary of a huge moment in her life, and she always gets emotional on this date. She kept crying, and then she told me why. She said that she's never told anyone this before, and then went on to say that today is the 25th anniversary of her becoming a mom. I was super confused since it wasn't my boyfriend's birthday and he's her only child, but she kept going and said that it was the day she had him implanted inside her and that my boyfriend was an egg donor's baby. She had no viable eggs, so she and her husband used his sperm and someone else's egg to have my boyfriend, and no one knew since it was a different time back in the 90s, and in her circle she'd be shamed. She was pregnant and gave birth to him, breastfed him, and did everything a mother did, and that she was never planning to tell him until he was in middle school, and they felt guilty, so they talked to a child psychologist who told them that they should have told him when he was younger and that they should wait until he's in early 20s to tell him, since that's when his empathy will be strong, and if they tell him at this age, he will never forgive them. My boyfriend is 24, and she said she still hasn't told him and at this point never will. I was so shocked I didn't say anything and almost cried myself. She kept talking about her other failed IVFs after him and ended up falling asleep, so I left to go to my boyfriend's room. When he came back, I faked like I was asleep but was up all night sick. It's been 2 weeks and I still haven't told him, and I'm too scared to. I don't want to be the messenger for such traumatic personal news. His parents should tell him, not me. Would I be the idiot if I didn't say anything? NTA, not your place to tell him, but you could tell his mom she needs to like right now because you don't want to have to keep this secret. Probably won't be a big deal anyway. She gave birth to him and raised him, so she is his mom, not the idiot. Find a way to let it go. Even if you, or she, told him, there's no guarantee of any resolution and almost certain guarantee of problems between him and his mom, who is his real mom. My wife donated eggs 25 years ago, and signed papers saying she did not want to be contacted in the future. She did give all of her medical and family medical history, of course, so that is available to the recipient, if necessary. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my wife upsetting news would be coming? Last weekend, my male 31, wife, female 29, was out of town spending the weekend with old friends. On Sunday afternoon, my mother-in-law texted me that John, male 21, my wife's brother, would be calling that night when my wife got home from her trip. She also said he has some upsetting news. I'm glad she will have you for support, and I'll be home if she wants to call or FaceTime afterwards. I told my mother-in-law that my wife had left later than expected and likely wouldn't be home until 11 p.m. now, and she said that John would call Monday evening instead. Later, my wife called from the car to check in because she was still about 1.5 to 2 hours away and wanted a little break from her podcasts. I'm not sure what in the conversation made me think of it, but I told her about the text from her mom earlier. She immediately started asking me what could be wrong, asked me to read the exact text, and was stressing out over it. She ended the call a few minutes later. When she got home, she was upset and angry at me for telling her. She didn't want to ruin my credibility with her mom and family, so although she didn't tell them she knew there was something going on, she had reached out to both her mom and John to see if they wanted to talk while she was driving, and her mom never responded to her text while her brother said he wasn't free. By the time she got home, she said she had already searched arrest records near his college as well as local newspaper sites and couldn't find anything about what this upsetting news could be. We had a big argument about what I did. She thinks that I shouldn't have told her when I knew they'd be calling the next evening after her workday was over, and that I especially shouldn't have told her when she was alone in the car driving. I thought I was doing the right thing by not keeping secrets from her. Am I the idiot? You're the idiot. Oh hey, your brother has some shitty news for you tomorrow, but I have no idea what it is. I guess you'll just have to sweat it out until he calls. That's what you did to your wife. You unfairly triggered anxiety and worry that was unnecessary. There are times when secrets are appropriate. Edit. So a lot of people seem to disagree with me, but go back and read the original post. It's pretty clear that the wife is a worrier. The OP should have been very aware of this personality trait. So yeah, I'm standing by the "you're the idiot," and yes, the mother-in-law is just as guilty. No idiots here except your mother-in-law. What was even the point of her telling you that? What was that accomplished? So now your choices are to freak out alone about what the heck the upsetting news is, and run the risk of your wife being mad you didn't give her a heads up, or let your wife freak out with you. It was a no-win scenario for you.